Hey guys, what's up? Bisectatron here from OneHive Gazette, here with the update video, and I'm recapping basically what was released in the update, my thoughts on it. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen it. I'm usually one of the late people to the update scene, but I always am sure to, watch videos, try out some of the new stuff, and give a bit of a more educated opinion than if I had just kind of jumped the gun. So anyway, here we go with the update things. I'm going to recap them, and as I do so, I'll give my opinion on basically how it's going to affect war, Town Hall 8 through Town Hall 11, basically. So anyway, let's get started. A lot of new cool stuff to get to. I'm just going to kind of go through a list in no order of stuff I have written down. So we have the new troops. They've added Town Hall 10, the Miner, and Town Hall 9, Baby Dragon. As far as the Miner goes, it looks like interesting troop. It's something that we haven't seen much of. It's a troop that avoids walls, but not defensive targeting. Looks like it takes up pretty low troop space, I think. I haven't checked that specifically, but it pops beneath the ground while it's traveling from building to building, so it can't be damaged in between. You guys might know the Miner from Clash Royale. Not really a high DPS troop, and I don't think it is in Clash either, but it's definitely something that could be used kind of as a utility, meaning that one or two of them just to do certain jobs for your attack, but maybe on a bigger scale. It's really something I don't know how it's going to be used. I've seen gameplay of it. I haven't actually used it myself, but I think it's something that could be more of a utility rather than actually the main part of an attack. I think it could be a good support troop, so we'll see how it gets used, but I don't think anything too groundbreaking, if I can throw a pun in there. As far as the Baby Dragon goes, that looks like it's going to be something that's going to be cool, and maybe just for utility purpose also. These two troops don't seem like anything too big, but I think that the Baby Dragon is a substitute for a wizard because it does pretty good DPS, has solid hit points, and it's an air troop. So instead of using minions, you can now use a Baby Dragon. It does take up 10 troop space, but I think you can get a funnel created very easily and be certain you'll get it. You can do it a few trades for defenses, stuff like that. So I think it could work, and who knows, maybe we'll see Town Hall, because it unlocks, let's check this, it unlocks at Town Hall 9, so you can see, instead of the dragon attacks, you used to see maybe baby dragon attacks, but remember it does do better on its own. It has that little rage aura when it's by itself, not by other baby dragons, so just using one of them could be a good utility as well. But I think more than the Miner, it has the potential to really expand to being the main troop in an attack, probably at Town Hall 9, but who knows. These things just came out. It could be a big thing at Town Hall 10. I don't think so, but it's something cool, and these troops are new. They're really adding some new dimensions to the game, and the more troops there are, kind of the more you can do cool things, customize your attacks, find new ways to use these in little utility ways, save troop space, get a job done, just all kinds of cool things you can think up. So that's very good to see, and it's been a while. We had the bowlers, but these are definitely also good additions to see. A lot of new troops for us to play around with and figure out what to do with, keeping the game fresh. Moving along though, let's get to the new spells they added. They added the clone spell for Town Hall 10, which is a elixir spell that actually takes up 4 spots, so double what a rage or a heal or any normal elixir spell takes up. And then they added the skeleton spell, which is a Town Hall 9 dark spell, and it's basically like a poison spell, except you drop it down, it'll deploy like 6 or 7 skeletons depending on the level. Doesn't trigger traps, doesn't lure CC troops, but I think it's something that could be used. And as far as that spell goes, you bring 2 poisons a lot of the time, but really sometimes you're only going to use 1, so I think it could be used to put down to distract a single targeted inferno, distract a hero, just something to basically buy your troops some time for creating a funnel, for letting wall breakers into the base. Just all kinds of new stuff will definitely help me make more Clan War mini tips with all these new things out. But I think it's something that could be used as a utility like the other new stuff, just on a small scale to try to kind of boost your attack up a little bit, because oftentimes you don't need that second dark spell. So even if it doesn't add much, it definitely adds something to your attack. As far as the clone spell goes, I don't know. It could be really powerful. It could not be. I'm not sure. It doesn't clone the biggest troops. You have to upgrade it to clone bigger troops and bigger troops. but it looks like it could be powerful. You do have to drop out 2 regular elixir spells, so you definitely have to make it worth it. But I think doubling that troop power could be something that we could see being very powerful. And let's say if you bring, a jump and a rage and maybe a heal, you can bring that clone spell as your other 4 spots, not counting the dark spells, at like Town Hall 10. So you could still have sufficient spells to use on your Valks or whatever, but still be able to use that clone spell and probably get pretty good value. But we'll see. It's something that I think could be very powerful or could not be. I don't know if they can predict how well it's gonna be, how much it's gonna be used, how powerful it'll be until it really comes out into the game. So we'll see. Okay, a few new things here. We have some upgrades and balancing. Town Hall 11, there's the level 14 cannon, level 4 lava hound, and level 7 balloon. The cannon's kind of a miniature nerf to ground attacks, I guess, to Valks, a little more DPS, which I think is good. And then the lava hound and the balloon are interesting because it's at Town Hall 11, and I think right now at Town Hall 11, they're getting to being able to 3-star other Town Hall 11s. It's something that they're working on. I don't think it's very consistently done. In most wars, typically the Town Hall 11s 3-star the Town Hall 10s, and the Town Hall 10s 2-star the Town Hall 11s. But if the air becomes a better option at Town Hall 11, you could see some attempts at other Town Hall 11s using air attacks for 3-stars. Other than that, I don't think it'll affect the game much. I think people will still use Valks at Town Hall 11 to 3-star Town Hall 10s. But keep in mind, you can put this in your CC now at Town Hall 9, Town Hall 10. So there is that trickle down for balloons and lava hounds being that much stronger, especially lava hounds. People don't really bring balloons unless they're like a Town Hall 8, but that's pretty much already broken. But yeah, you can now bring a level 4 lava hound as a Town Hall 9, which is pretty powerful, adding another buff. But I think air does need that buff to keep up with Valks at this point. And attacking is becoming pretty powerful. A new defensive building might be in order, but this should balance things out a little bit and possibly add that 3-star game to Town Hall 11 that it doesn't quite have yet, for whatever reason, probably the Eagle Artillery being pretty brutal. But anyway, Town Hall 7 plus, they added Springtrap levels. I think not going to be that big of a deal, but another miniature nerf to ground troops. They can take out more hogs. I think multiple Valks now, so something good there. I'm all for it. And then Town Hall 10 plus, the bowler housing space reduced to 6. I think this is actually kind of a low-key big thing. I think that bowlers could be the next thing, a bowler walk specifically, and I'll tell you why. The healers do a very, I think it's almost like half reduced heal to to heroes. So the Queen Walk, you're not getting the full value of your healers, but you shouldn't have to bring 4. If you bring bowlers, you can bring 2 or 3, and that's huge because you can save that 14 troop space if you only bring 3. And I've tried it. 3 healers will keep up the bowlers under a number of point defense, especially if the point defense lock on to different bowlers, because then it's like 1 point defense on each bowler. So it's huge. The healing value you get when you use bowlers. And I think that with there being 6 troop space, I can drop down a CC of 5 bowlers and just let them do work. It's pretty big in my opinion. I think bowler walks are going to be something you're going to see more, and especially with the ability to practice it more. I'll get to that in a bit. But anyway, yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty big thing. We're going to see some more bowlers coming out. Some people might disagree, but that's just my opinion. We'll see how it works out. But I think that was good. I think bowlers taking up 8 troop space was a little much. I think this will help get them to be relevant at Town Hall 10 and 11. So anyway, that is that. Let's move on to just kind of the last few things. And I might be skipping over some of the little things, so let me know if I missed something that's kind of important in the comments. I think I have everything covered, but you can drop a comment letting me know what you think about these things and any other things that I might have left out. But anyway, the big thing is friendly challenges. I think that's, everyone agrees, is the most has the most weight as far as the changes go, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this is going to do to the game. When you think about it, it's basically what people who are modding had for a while. The only difference is you can't do it on a specific base to get an advantage in a war. So you can now attack any player's base free of charge of any troop space. Just whatever troops you have, you can just use. You don't lose those troops, they stay with you, so no cost really. and you can practice on any base. They have the cooldown, the 24-hour cooldown, so you can't so you can't copy the opponent's base, and you can't scout anymore on prep day. So that makes it so it's only a day long time period which will know the base. That way, the 24-hour cooldown covers the entire war, so you can't copy the opponent's base. But anyway, what this is going to do to just attacking in general, I think is going to be pretty significant. We're going to see people coming up with all kinds of new crazy things, because instead of 2 attacks, now you can have 50 if you want in a day, and you can choose what base you want to attack based on telling your clanmate, hey, can I try out this base that you have or that base, kind of experimenting around. And after a war is over, you can say, hey, can you copy that opponent's base? And then a day later, you can try that base and see what would have 3-starred it. I mean, it's a day later because you have to wait for the cooldown, but any base you attack in war, you can get a clanmate to say, and you can do it vice versa because no one wants to build a base just for someone else. So it can be kind of a mutual thing. You build the opponent's base in one of your slots, and you can go in and see how you could have 3-starred it, keep tweaking it, almost like modding, but after the fact. So modding definitely had some innovation. A lot of different attack strategies came from modders. I think this is something I've discussed a lot, and a little bit controversial, but I think everyone agrees to that to some extent, that modding has innovated the game a little bit, and I think this is going to keep the innovation without the cheating. And I think that's what everyone wants. You're going to see people using miners, bowlers, the baby dragon, all that new stuff, and all the stuff we already have. Clone spell also, the skeleton spell or whatever it's called. But you're going to start seeing that being used in crazy ways, and the game is really going to lurch forward as far as innovation goes, and I think that's going to be something that's really cool. Now it's also everything in the game beforehand you had to wait for. And by the way, the healer AI I'm not liking. The healers are leaving the queen more, so just noticed that in the attack as I was talking. But anyway, you're gonna... I lost my train of thought here. What was I saying? Oh, everything in the game has been wait for this, wait for that. Wait for troops for war, for your upgrades. This is immediate. You can attack a base, then attack it again with the exact same troops, no cost, just boom, right away. And that's something that's cool. We haven't seen that dimension of Clash of Clans yet, the immediate attack, no cost, and I think they've implemented it in a very strategic way. And originally they said they weren't going to have the cooldown. I have to be suspicious if this was a way to kind of trick the war people into thinking they made the change for them, because I mean Supercell are smart people, and they know that this was going to be hugely complained about by the war community when they announced this, but said that there was going to be no cooldown so you could copy your opponent's bases. I think they knew that there was going to be that backlash in the war community for sure, but I think they intentionally left out the part of having the cooldown to make it look like they were adapting to the war community, and I think that's kind of a tricky way to do it, to show that they're listening and that they're really taking into account what people are saying, especially from the war community, which has always been vocal about having the changes that they want to be made. And you know what, it is what it is, but I think I can try to call their bluff there. I'm not sure, I might be wrong, this kind of a conspiracy theory type thing, but I think there's definitely that possibility that they implemented this with the delayed announcement about the cooldown to try to look a little bit better, like they're really taking into account what they're saying. But anyway, I'm not going to go off too much on that. Just kind of a theory I have. You guys can decide for yourself. But anyway, the friendly challenges is definitely going to be pretty revolutionary to the game. I've already said this a lot, so I'm using it, and it's something that I think is going to allow people that weren't part of the war community before to kind of discover these new attack strategies, because a lot of times, in 2 attacks, people don't want to waste time playing them too much, and they kind of fall back into using the less 3-star-ish strategies, whatever you want to call them. It could be with whatever troops, but they're not playing it out to get this 3-star as well as they could. And I think people now, because it doesn't cost any troop space it doesn't cost any time or troops to do the attack, as long as you have it trained up beforehand, people are going to really start experimenting more. It won't just be the war community. The war community will obviously jump ahead, but I think even some of the less hardcore war people will start to use these new features and at least become somewhat proficient at 3-starring, especially at Town Hall 9 and maybe even at Town Hall 10. So I think it'll trickle down definitely to some of the non-hardcore war clans, more of the casual war clans. We'll see that happen as well. But one last thing about this friendly challenge, it's something that the only thing I'm thinking about it that's not as positive is that it just takes a lot more time now, because you have to, go on if you want to get your base checked out, to have people attack your base, see how it works, make the changes, and for your own attacks, go on, do the attacks, tweak them, do them again. It is a bit more of a time commitment than what we had in the past, so it's something you're gonna have to put in time to do. And I'm busy. I'm gonna do my best to try to get these attacks done and try to improve my own skills and develop new stuff. But it's definitely gonna be more of a time commitment for people that do want to do this. And I'll do my best. I think a lot of people in OneHive are really excited to try to innovate, get the newest cutting edge strategies made, which is awesome. We need people to do that, but for some people, possibly myself, might sit back a little bit more, see what people are doing, and kind of see if we can use the strategies that are already being created. But I don't know. I'm gonna do my best to try to get these in, do some of these practices, see if I can innovate and get some new strategies going. So anyway, time commitment, but I think everyone's excited about it, and that doesn't really change the fact that it's going to be awesome for the game, and I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so just a few notes to add at the end here. Kind of gone over all the big stuff, I think, but we do have the base editor that has been added. I went over this in an entire video just because I make bases. It was so awesome to see that. Something I'm really excited about seeing in the game, and has already helped me make bases. So I'm looking forward to continuing to use that and to getting bases cranked out a little bit faster. And you guys will see that in the live base builds and stuff as I do those later on. What else do we have? We have the new graphics. So they've added, you can see the wizard there, the shooting of the wizard, and the wizard tower. It doesn't look as cool as, in my opinion. I think that wasn't really needed, but they like changing up the graphics every once in a while. So sometimes you see them change up the walls, sometimes they change up other things. So they chose to change up just a few different graphics. The clan chat, that was something that was changed, and it takes getting used to. I don't really tend to like the changes in graphics usually, but I think once you get used to them, they seem pretty cool, so you don't notice them. It's just right at the beginning that people don't like change naturally. So anyway, it's something that I'm getting used to, but eventually I won't even notice it, I'm sure. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and hope you're excited for the update. You guys are probably trying it out, and I'll have videos throughout the next few weeks showing me using some of the new stuff, showcasing other people using possibly the new spells, the new troops, hopefully, and see where this takes us. But I'm excited. I think Clash really has gotten some new life into it, and we'll see where it goes from here. But anyway, like I said, drop a comment if I left something out, and definitely tell me what you think in the comments below. I'll take a look at them, try to respond if I can. But thanks for watching this one. Probably have a quick announcement coming out just an hour or so after this, so stay tuned for that. Just a quick announcement about the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, Secatron out.